Hi, I'm Tim Turney. I'm standing in my garage shop in Roseville, California, which is Northern California, and I want to introduce to you a dovetail fixture for hand cutting dovetails. This is not a tutorial on making dovetails, it's basically a demonstration of the tool. There are a lot of people out there who know a lot about cutting dovetails. It's a skill that I have not been able to develop in many, many years of woodworking. I needed help, and so a year and a half or so ago I decided to try to develop something that would work for me. And I did. As far as I'm concerned, this is probably going to be one of the best tools for hand cutting dovetails on the market. It's a great guide. It's very strong. It's made from aluminum, 6061 aluminum. I don't know the temper. It was machined to my specifications. It's got some slots. There's a 1 to 6 configuration and a 1 to 8 configuration, whichever you prefer, or both. One is for softwoods, one is for hardwoods. It has positive guide slots that fit a narrow curved saw blade. This is a Lee Nielsen 15 ppi rip saw, and I use this pretty exclusively, although this will work with any saw with a kerf in the range of 16 to 22 mils, including Japanese saws. Whatever saw you have, if it fits in the kerf, it's going to work. It works better the closer you get to the 22 mil max or 23 mil max. It gives you a very positive capture, left to right, up and down, and you'll really enjoy that. It's got some markings on the side here. These are from the top underneath section here: 1/4, 3/8, half, 3/4, and 13/16, which is essentially 4/4. Those are just ballpark markings so that when you're sawing through from the blind side, which I'll show you in a minute, you'll know where you need to stop so that you don't cut past your scribe marks. Although you can use this tool on either side, this is typically how it sets up this way. Hold it down here firmly, and you can clamp this if you feel good about it. I don't ever clamp it, I don't need to, but clamping is just fine. You can also put it on the front side where your vision is this part here. So you're seeing from this side and the saw is coming in this way. You can do that. For whatever reason, I have always done it this way, and let me show you how that works. I typically cut the tails first, but you can do pins first if that's your preference. That's just how I started, and that's how I continue to do it. What I've got here is a couple of pieces of black oak that I have stickered in my front yard. First thing you want to do, and like I say, this is going to be redundant for those of you who know how to cut dovetails, is I'm going to mark the tail side, the faces, the edges, both edges, both faces, back and front, a little scribe in there, and then I'm going to mark the pin side just on the faces. So now when we get this thing put together, we should have a little bit of wraparound grain, and it should look pretty nice. I'm going to put this in my Moxon, homemade Moxon vise, which I really love. And as far as the spacing, you can put them anywhere you want. It can be asymmetrical, symmetrical, or whatever. Obviously, you know that this doesn't matter. The real test is when you match these up to the pins. I'm going to use about a 1/2 inch here for no other reason than it's just convenient. You can mark from the other side, and then maybe another inch. Come in about an inch here, an inch here. Like I say, they're wide open, and just make a real solid line across there. And mark off the waist. That's this guy, and this guy. No need to mark down the face. There's no need to do that. You really only need the depth and your spacing, and you're good to go. So like I said, I'm a tails first person, so I'm going to get my rip saw here. I'm going to line up right there, inside the line. Let the saw just settle in. Okay, and I'm going to take that off just like that. That looks good there. Now I go to the other side, still in the waist. And again on this side. Now you can clamp this if you like, or you can just hold it by hand. I have yet to have to clamp anything. The way the tool is designed, it's a little offset so that you always have something on the wood and something in your palm. And the last cut. Now, next thing is to cut out the waste areas, which is one piece here in the center. And I use a little cobra saw for that. Now, per Paul Sellers and other woodworkers that I've watched, create a little groove to guide my saw. Come in here. Cut that out. Same thing again. Looks like a wormhole, huh? Must be. So now we're going to need to clean out this waste here. I'm going to do that with a chisel. I rarely, if ever, need to chase the sides with a chisel to firm it up. I'm almost always am able to go right from the saw into putting these together. But I'm going to cut this out now. Turn the one I've got. And then right in the scribe mark. Overboard on the inside, but very little cleanup. Always have to get it real nice at the right depth on the bottom, and that's a good looking dovetail, I think. Okay, so the dovetail sides are done. They look pretty darn good to me. So now to mark the pins, I'm going to use this homemade fixture. Just like that. Get that in there. Capture it good. Take this piece here, line it up. Make sure you get the right depth. The pins I usually mark with a knife, as this is where it becomes critical to me, so that I have nice tight fitting dovetails. Mark the waist, and we'll start to cut. We're going to use the pin side, which is this side here. This is where you can make a difference in the fit. I can line this up on the wrong side of that line and have a really big fat gap that doesn't do anybody any good. Or I can line it up right directly with that, and that's still too much. My preferred lining up of this is to get the right edge of the kerf in about the center of the groove of the knife cut. And that's where I'm going to start this out. Once again, let the saw settle. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to my saw per Paul Sellers' rag in a can with oil, and that really makes things easy going from here. Okay, the next cut also inside the line in the waist area, like right about there. You have a lot of control over how loose or tightly or coming in all right. Okay, and then again, a little bit makes a lot of difference here. And the last cut, and you can see there's plenty of support since this is off-centered. Plenty of supports so that you get a positive positioning. Out to the scribe line. How's that? Is that looking good? Once again, we'll cut out the waist. I want to chop from this side, since this side is the show side. Yeah, and that one is pretty near the line. Like I said, very little work, if any, on the actual pin. You just want to make sure this sets to the bottom. So clean out the waist at the bottom. Good looking pins right there, I think. And now the true test: how is this thing going to fit together? Like a glove. And there you have it. It's a good tool. Give it a try. There will be information on where you can get these. This is my own development. I sell these, ship them out from my house. It's from papamadetwoodworking.com. Hope to hear from you. Thanks.